Hey there, how's it going? So, as you can see, we've got some nice detail going on here. It's time to do some layer work. Now, what I'm going to do is select this leg here, go to my layers tool, select high PU leg, and click add. Just stick that in there. And then I can hide off this, and that, and the tools. Now, what I need to do underneath here is build a box first. Reason being that I want my normals kind of facing in the right direction. I don't have to flip it either. I'm just going to drag this out like this. Hit F4. Now if I take my scaffold mesh here and go to object properties, freeze it and make it see-through. Now take this piece and just go to the local viewport. I mean the local world space coordinate system, just so I can draw it out from this. Okay, what I'm going to do now, start a box, and I think this is a bit high, but that's okay. I'm going to bring it down soon enough. So I'm going to draw out here. Let's make it so I can see a bit better. There we go. Bring that up to about there. Okay, and this is going to become our high polygon upper leg soon. So if this is our knee, this will become our upper leg. Like so. Okay. Just checking that out. Now I'm going to delete this off. Okay, now what I'm going to do is convert to editable poly. Select this polygon here and move the world space coordinate system to local. And just pull it down just till we get this intersection here. Just where I can see it. There we go. Okay. And I can kind of reshape this a bit because it's not quite fat enough in my opinion. So I'm going to bring that down to about there, and then bring this up to about here. It's going to be reshaped quite a lot anyway. Okay, next I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to ring it and then do a connect. And like I say, we're just getting the basic shape at the moment. That's all we need. Hit delete. Do a hinge from edge. Pick my hinge. It's going to be this one. 180 degrees, 22 segments. Simply because it'll keep it nice and smooth. Click OK. Delete. Select by vert. Do a Control A and then do a quick weld. Brings the number down by 2, and it means that things are working, which is groovy. Okay, press G to turn off the grid. I've had to reset max, so I just want to reset it. And I'm going to get rid of my scaffolding on the inside, so go to freeze and unfreeze all and kill that. Okay, because we don't need that anymore. Right, so we've got this really big, really powerful shape to put together up here. So I'm just going to look at my shape and work out the best way of doing it. Now I'm going to split this in half first off. It'll make things a lot easier in the long term. So select here, do a ring, connect, and get rid of this. Now select here and ring. See, my zoom's having a few issues today. Right, do a ring. Yeah, ring doesn't want to go through here, obviously. So I'll just use the select tool for this. Okay, now if we do a connect, it goes straight through the middle like that, which is what we wanted to do. Click OK. Next. Just going to have a quick look at our polygons, because it looks like this one's a bit damaged. And that's never a good thing. I'm just going to delete it. And then I can recap it. There, that looks better. Right. Over here then. I'm going to grab here and do a ring. And then a connect, and this gives me my first main line to work from. I'm going to bring this up to round about there. Okay, now I'm going to grab here and here at the back as well. Okay, and do a scale on local. Don't want that one and that one. There. Okay, and I think this could go a little bit higher. That's better. Right. Actually, I'll select the other ones as well for this. That way it's going to be even. Okay, that's fine. Next. Just kind of looking at the shape again. What I'm going to do is grab just here, do a ring and a connect. Now I can just move my connect to round about here. It's quite a tricky piece to see here, so you're going to have to bear with me. There we are. It's what looks like a rocker. It's completely redundant. We're not going to have any movement coming off this, but we need it to look like it's going to move. So it's quite an important shape. Okay. I can actually get away with only making one piece full stop. So I might do that for the moment. So I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to grab here and here. Go to this view pool, zoom. Now I'm going to hold shift and just drag it until we get it just overlapping here. Okay, drop out into perspective. And go into the interactive bridge. Now then down at the bottom here. Bridge that for the moment. And could do with bringing this polygon up a little bit. I really should keep a little bit at the bottom here. So I'm just going to cut this out. There we are. Okay, that's fine. Now, I'm just going to hide unselected. Or even isolate the selection if I have to. Just makes it a little bit easier and neater for me to work on. Okay, now I'm going to target weld this. And again, just go into the bridge tool. Here and here. Like so. Alright. For the minute I'm going to delete off these parts over here because I don't need them and they'll probably get in the way. Though you'll notice I'm keeping the middle there just because it'll make things easier. Right. So with this part being here, grab this edge here and loop. Do a chamfer, not a very big one. About that much should be enough. Because I want to collapse. Get back. Click OK, because I want to collapse here, then here, and then here. The reason I've done that is so that I can get here and pull this in. And I'll pull in the bottom simultaneously, so probably easier just to grab these polygons. Not too much, just about that far. Remember the whole unit of measurement that I said was a yay? This is a yay far. Okay, next. Again, do a quick connect. Looking at the height. Right about there. Looks like we've got a few duff polygons, but it's nothing that the power of chamfer won't cure. Again, quick chamfer here though. I'll use edge checks to sort these out later. Quick collapse. And again, making sure to get both verts. Okay, so this time I'm just going to bring this one in, like that. Okay, now, down here. Always takes me a few minutes to get into recording a tutorial when I'm doing something. You know, if I had a day's break or something, then it'll be a lot harder for me to start up recording than it would be otherwise. And once I get started though, it's kind of yay tutorials. Happy, happy. So, okay, chamfer this. All just part of the creative process, man. Collapse that. And that. And that. And then here, I can just bring this down a bit. Not too much, just a little bit. I can then bring this out like that, nice and far. Alright, next. I'm just kind of looking at this shape. I could really do with bringing these in a little bit more, I think. So I'm going to do that. There, that looks better. It's a little bit too wide, you see, so I just want to do a little bit of repair work to that. Now, over here, looking at this shape, and I'm going to do an inset, and then I'm going to grab my edges, one's here and one's here, straighten them. I don't need to straighten the other ones. I'll move this back to about there. I think this one could do with being a little bit scaled up as well, just to give it a slightly more interesting shape. Now, if I grab here, I'm going to extrude it straight out until we get to this bounding place here. That's how I know where the edge is. Now, I can grab this one and scale them both. Scale this one first. I think I might have to scale this one in the screen mode, which is something I'm trying to avoid. Just go to user mode here. There we are. Just like I said, it makes things a little bit easier. Selection mode screen. One there and one there. And bring them in to round about there. And then back into perspective. Makes a difference doing it that way, and it is effective too, so. Okay. What I'm going to do now is curve these pieces. Use the chamfer tool for that. And I'm also going to bring this part out because it's a bit too wide. That's better. If it's too wide, you see, we can't put the rocker on for the piston, because the piston will be too big. I can't see the inside of this particularly well, so I think I know enough about how to do the placement on this to actually wangle it so it'll work. We're going to have to see, so I'm going to do a chamfer, then another chamfer, and then another chamfer. There we go. Nice and smooth, just the way it should be. Next, I'm going to go here, select this part, and I'm going to do an inset. Just increase the inset amount like so. Now, select here. Drop into the side view here, so I can do this and straighten it up a bit. Very much a working by eye thing, so I'm just going to bring this back to about here and here, like that. Okay. Make sure angle snap's not on. I'm just doing a quick shift and drag it over here as an instance. Okay, going to change this to view. Kind of useful being able to do it in this way. You see, because we're obviously affecting this one, which is in the right position, but at the same time, we're not actually working on it. We're working on this one up here. It's quite a handy way of modelling sometimes. Okay, now in here, what I'm going to do is pull this back a bit. So extrude and back. Like so. Probably about there will do it. Okay, that's good. Next. Bit pinched on the end here. Let's just scale this one and this one up. Move this to view. There we are. Just rounds it a little bit more. Now I'm going to make a cylinder, which I'm going to pull out from around about here, because that'll be where the middle is, more or less. Do that. Make sure it's only got one height segment, and as I'm keeping my style pretty standard, 22 sides, convert to editable poly, and just grow this out. Control I, delete the back. In the same style, I'm going to grab this, shift and drag, just clone to element. Then I'm going to flip it and grab this part, just shift, drag, scale it flat, drag it again. Right, I'm going to weld out some of this. And over this side. I just noticed that the 3D Palace parakeet needs to be put to bed as he doesn't have his cover on. So I'll just pause for a second. There we go. Always remember to cover your parakeet when it gets dark. Right, back to doing this. 3D Palace parakeet care tutorial. Okay, gonna cap off here to here. Well, bridge off technically. And that bit's closed too. Right, now over here, what I'm going to do is attach this part. Just making sure everything's copying down here. Now I'm going to delete this big polygon here. And what I can do now, basically just cap this shape. Getting nice and close so I can see what I'm doing. I mean, you can literally go around and bridge it this way if you want to, or, you know, just manually just cap the lot. Give you a clue which one I'm going to do. There we are, and that closes that nicely. Right, now, again looking at this shape, seeing what fun things I can do with it. I'm going to take off this part here, because really we don't need that, not anymore anyway. I'll grab here, 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 and here, and I'm going to shift and drag these just until we get to the bounding point, which is there, like that, and do a Control A and just weld it all. Grab down here. I want to make sure it's all collapsing properly, that it's all connected together. If it's not, it's going to be a pain later. Okay. Now this one. There we go. Right. That was me clicking my fingers at the naughty cat. Don't ask how many pets we've got in here. I've got children, so you can probably imagine. Okay, now I think this could be a little bit too large, this loop here, so I'll do a minor adjustment on it. By minor I mean a major. Okay, I'm just going to scale it down uniformly, like that. And my front viewport here, zoom in on it. Bring it out like that. And then bring these down. Got a bit of a crossover going on here that I'll have to fix. Front viewport again. Just going to grab this bit. Actually no, this was this bit here. I need to bring it back. So I'm going to have to bring this part back too. And this part. And then this part. Put it back into perspective. Let's have a look at it to see if it's all horribly messed up and retarded or not. It could probably do with a bit of a clean, to be honest. So I'm going to do a cut from here up to here. And then I'm going to get rid of this bit. And this bit. And there should be a vert in here. And I'll give it about 2. There, and as you see, it's straightened out nicely. Right, nearly lost the thread of my thought there, because I was kind of looking at this a lot. Okay, I'm going to delete this entire half here. Just because it's going to help me concentrate not having that. Now there's a piece I'm going to have to cut out the middle here using a detailer later. I'll do that soon. So we can just about start moving on to this now. So I'm going to select this, turn on angle snap, go to rotate, and I'm going to rotate it in the view by 180 degrees. Just clone it to an element, and then pull it through until it just intersects like that. Okay, next I'm going to go over here and I'm going to delete this polygon. This means I can now do this, following which I can do this. Okay. Now I'm going to extrude straight across here until it intersects with this polygon here. And when it does, I'm going to start work on this polygon. So, select here, and I'm going to scale it down. It's kind of the first thing on my agenda. Now then, I'm going to move this in, otherwise it's going to impede my chamfering. There we go. I'll just check that's nice and straight. There we go. Okay, so looking at this, I'm going to go back into the rounding bit. Grab here and here, and start the chamfering process. Try and keep it as even as I possibly can. There we go. More or less even. I mean, you're welcome to do this any way you want. This is just the way that I choose to do it, you know. Okay, next, I'm going to grab here and delete. And here and delete. But why, Chris? Well, you'll see. You inquisitive, made-up person. There, do a bridge. And then do a cap. There we go, and that's that piece done. Check down here that it's still current, and it is. Next, I'm going to go through here, like that. Do a connect. I'm going to chamfer this nice and wide. Next, select by polygon, and do a extrude by local normal. Don't want to make it too big because that would look silly. So about that much. Apply, or even OK. Now do a bevel by local normal. This enables me to do some funky things, like this, and then extrude it again. There we go. Click OK. Now, do we have a flat polygon on the top? Let's have a look. We probably don't, but it's worth... Oh, we do. There. So what I'm going to do now, and this isn't the best reference in the entire world, is I'm going to grab these four. I'm going to scale them flat on the z-axis, which gives us this rather nice flat top piece here. Next, on top of this, if I can just see how wide it is, I need to make it a little bit wider. I want to build my cylinder, so just drag that out from the middle, right the way to the edge, like so. A little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, and like so. You notice I'm not naming anything simply because I'm adding them to the same collection of polygons over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, get that round about to where the middle is. Now I'm going to reduce the radius just a tiny bit. Mainly because it makes it easier when it comes to capping. Okay, now over here. And I can scale this in to about there. And then delete them. Now over here. Convert to editable poly. Grow, Control I, delete. Attach. Now, bit of detailing. Bit of interactive capping. Whee! There we go. And that's this piece done. Next. I'm just looking at this piece here, and I'm going to bring it straight up as a smooth piece to about there. And then I'm going to start building my piston. Nice simple piston, so in there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. These are just 0 height bevels. There we go, bring that straight down. Zoom in on this one. Just need to get it exact. Bring it to about there. Nice wide one, you see. Then up. And then up again. Just to round off the bottom of this piston piece. Okay, up to about here. If you round it, you see like this, it really looks very heavy duty and industrial. Otherwise it just doesn't. It's weird. It's the whole way that we look at things, I suppose. Okay, bring that up to round about there. Now you'll see that this is a little bit, well, not a little bit, it just isn't quite wide enough. Could do with really moving this in a bit, or alternatively moving this out a wee bit. So let's have a look at this. Detach to element. And zoom on it. I'm just going to scale it out. And then move this to here. Okay, just need to bring this over a little bit. Down. Alright, that's not bad. Perspective. Run a quick weld on that. Actually, no, I'll use target weld on this. So, target weld. Target weld. Target weld. This will enable me to rescale things back, you see. Okay, from viewport. Start the process by just straightening this out. There we are. Like so. Top viewport, have a quick look at it, because you can see it's a bit, well, a lot all over. Okay, this is just one of them things you have to do, unfortunately. Right, now I'll be able to see where they're going. Make sure they're all straight. And at the back here. That's it. Drop into perspective. Alright, that's fine. Alright, now back up here, where we were working before. I'm going to delete this. Well, I'm going to delete this one anyway. I'm not going to delete this one because I want the cap. So, I'm just going to scale this backwards, and then move it backwards. Like that, and it'll make things a heck of a lot easier for me. Okay, bring this down just a teeny bit. And I'm going to run my bevel on it. Pretty sure I was dreaming about modelling this last night, which is a bit worrying. Okay. Give it a zero width extrude. Okay, and I'm going to bring that down nice and flat. Just drag this up so that it is flat. Okay. Now, over here, big bridge. Something tells me I didn't delete the top polygon, and I didn't. Go back to doing a bridge again. Now I can cap that piece. Okay, we've still got our single polygon shape going on, which is good because that's what I wanted. Okay, now symmetry. Just make sure that this is all going together the way it should. So I'll just use the mirror tool. There we go. A little bit needs to be reattached to the top, but that's okay. Now if you look, because I've collapsed it to an editable polygon, we don't get what do you call it, this acting on this one as a reference. So I'll stick an edit poly on the top. And now you'll see that we do have that level of control. Okay, next. What I can do is go over here and bring our verts together. Now because I've got editable poly stuck on the top, I'm going to quickly save this to my workbench. Reason being, things can go wrong. Okay. Then I stick a collapse on that, and on that, and on that. Okay, that's tidied that up nicely. Now, I'm going to stick another symmetry on it. On the top level here. And that double symmetries it, just to here. See? And now I can stick an edit poly on top of that as well. So now you're hopefully seeing where edit poly comes in useful. Because it does occasionally have its moments. And it is quite a complicated shape. Okay, next. If I go over here to my layer manager and unhide my tools. Now my tools are getting quite low down, and I could do with bringing them up here where I can see them. There we are. So there's my tools now. And I'm going to work in here. So pin my stack, and I'm going to create a cylinder. Frankly, my grid's anyone's guess at the moment. If you look, it's kind of everywhere. It might be worth collapsing this. And then I can re-symmetry the back if I want to. There we go. So, this is the original piece, which we can now work on. Convert to edible poly. Got a few, by a few I mean a lot of bad polys sitting in here. So let's clean these out. Cap those. It's a good thing about Max, it does shade the bad polys for you, so you can see where you're going to have your problems. Cap that. And I'm going to cap that. And cap that. So as you see, we've repaired, well, all of them actually. Because like I said, it's a pain in the backside when you've got bad polys. Okay, now over here, I need to do a piece using a cylinder. If you remember, I couldn't do it very easily using the previous one, which is one of the reasons I collapsed the mesh down. Okay, I'm going to bring this out just a little bit. Actually, I'll make it negative. There you go. Convert to edible poly. Couldn't really decide the best way for me to do it, so doing it this way. Grab here, Control I, delete the back. Okay, now select here, delete these two, and then attach this one. Now I'm going to scale it round about there. Bridge. Heck, I might even bridge the bottom just for the sheer novelty value. There we go, and cap. Also, if I do it that way, it means it's going to be easier to use symmetry again if I have to. Okay, over here. Now what I thought were 3 small breaks aren't. They're just 3 small bolts, so ones that I'm going to reuse as well, just to make my job a bit easier. I've also got some insert shapes which I'm going to be using. Okay, extrude. Actually no, bevel, sod it. Just being careful how to do this. Remember, if you don't have confidence in freestyle beveling, then just take your time and use the little button here, okay, for your settings. Oops, wrong way. It does take a little bit getting used to. Okay, that's fine. Right, it's time to add to my tools collection, so bring my tools down here. Just where I can see them. There we are. Now, I need to create a new table, so I'm just going to create a box. Convert to edible poly. Okay. Now I can move this where I need it. Which is about here. They don't all have to be on the same level, so even though it appears they pretty much are. Right, now, one of the pieces I'm going to make is... It's weird because I can't see it that well at all. I'm going to use these and these in the model as well, and that. But one of the pieces I need to make is... Let's see... Cylinder. Draw that out, bring it down. So I've got this to work from here. Right. Now then, it's quite small, so I'm going to inset this to about there. Now I'm going to use the bevel tool almost exclusively via the settings tool. It's hard as hell doing this otherwise. Okay, going to apply that with a bit of height. Apply. And apply. 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 Okay. And this is a protruding very small head, and it's also a tool. There we go. Right, I'll move it over to sit with its colleagues over here and delete that for the moment. Now, 4 tools, so let's make sure this one is added to our basic tools set. Okay, and now I can go back to the upper leg again. I'm going to run a script. I'll go all the way back to my projects. There we go. Well, I'm going to set my selection as source. And I'm going to use all these distribution objects. So let me think. Actually no, I'll just use this one, that one, and that one. I'm not going to use the other one. And I'll turn off these 3 for the minute, because I don't want them just yet. Right, now I only want to place 2 of these initially here. Because remember, I do want to duplicate the other side. So 1 there. And 1 there. And as that looks a bit small, I can also perhaps put something else there if I wanted to. Nah, there's not really room. Okay. Now, over here then, I'm going to put a piece here. I still think that's a bit too small, so I'll probably just scale those up actually. Now, over here, I need an inset piece that I don't have yet, so I'll turn this off. Just use the scale tool for this. Delete. It's only a very minor piece, but it nonetheless has to be in here, so. I was wondering if it'd be easier actually moving it in from this, and it probably will be, depending on whether or not local's going to work. Probably not. Okay, what I'm going to do then is what I did before. make an instance of it. Straighten it up myself. There we go. Now I can straighten these out myself. And bring them in. Right, now I was going to muck around with these, but I'm just not so sure now. Let's have a look. First of all, I want to collapse these. Now move up. I should be able to move this up enough. Yep, I can. That's okay then. Now if I just extrude this in a tiny bit, then a little bevel. There we go. Okay, I'm going to use this is the placement tool, I think, so I'll delete these for the minute. There we are. Alright, let's get to replacing the placement tool stuff. I'm going to use the medium insert one, go straight into place mode. Actually, hang on, set this as a source. That's vexed me in the past, you know, why isn't it working? Oh. So, one there, one there, one there, one there, move it along a bit, one in here, one in here. Gonna go up top here. I think I'm not going to bother with the protruding V small, I'll just use this bigger one here. Have a quick look at the shape. One there, one there. There, and about there. A bit higher, there we are. Next. Those two are offset, I'll have to straighten them. I'll go to my inverse. I'm not going to bother doing the ones on the inside. I'm also adding a degree of kind of randomness to this. I'm going to use my middle one here. Two there. Actually, a little bit further away I think, because I'm going to want to chamfer that quite extensively in a few moments. Okay, that's fine. I think I'll put them here as well. Right. Now I get to attach them all, so let's hide my tools. And this. Okay, and attach 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 of these pieces. Well, hurrah. Oh no, 22. Okay, so with these attached, now what I'm going to do is start fitting them into place. So, trying to kill myself while hitting a fly off my desk. Just get into the right place for this. I tend to just zoom in on the nearest object that I think is going to be suitable. Okay, and cap. And I'm not fast pathing through this simply because you learn by repetition. Dull as it may sound, but you do. Okay, let's take out these three. And do a bridge there. And there. Thinking of bridges reminded me, I really wanted to go to Arnhem. Is it Arnhem or Arnhem? In the Netherlands. I just completely forgot to this time. Okay, get back. That's it. Center these out a bit better than they already are. Right, now delete these. Now, as I'm not duplicating it, as I'm not duplicating it on the right, I'm just duplicating it back to front. I'm not going to be losing too much sleep about making sure all my verts are completely even. Well, my edges anyway. Okay, cap that. Good. Go down. Delete those three first. The thing about this kind of process is, mathematically it's so complicated that it's really hard to speed it up. I mean, you know, when you look at the mathematics of something even that seems simple, like collapse, the sheer weight of the complexity of the actual process is amazing. I mean, what's it doing? It's calculating the position of the vectors. It's then averaging them, finding the spot in between them, and then moving both verts to there and welding. Bridge. And over here, a quick cap. There we go. Okay, down here. Gonna want to move this one. Anyway, I digress. I also sound like I've got a very, very, very gruff voice. But that's just from talking a lot. There's been a lot of discarded parts of this tutorial. Ones where it's just gone on and on and on and wouldn't bloody stop. I mean, what would you know it? This part is an hour so far. And I'm still bloody recording, so... Get these in the right position first before I start collapsing it. Or rather, before I start deleting bits. There we go. Right. Kill this bit. Bridge. And bridge. Okay, cap it. Now over here. We're nearly done, don't worry. Then you can go back to clutching your head and crying. Okay, here to here, quick bridge. Here to here. It's amazing, I keep thinking, oh, I've only recorded 2 parts today, and then I realise I've recorded like 2.5 hours worth of usable stuff or something. And then it's like, that's quite a bit. Dear Chris, why, oh why, oh why are your tutorials too long? I'm going to get my friend Toby to supply me with some of the music from his Bullseye Baggies band. He's got this band that he's been wanting me to help him promote, so I might use that for some musical interludes. Admittedly, his songs aren't the jolliest of songs that I've heard. However, it's one of the few rock bands I've heard that actually has a string quartet in it, so... Okay, and this one. Bridge. And cap it. Okay, and over here. Okay, and bridge. And then cap. Right, so... Oh, we missed 4. Not bad, 4. Let's see, get these loaded together. Got enough time to go and stick the kettle on, haven't you? I doubt anyone's listening this far, actually. Probably think to themselves, yeah, Chris well knows if I go for a cup of tea, I'll not get anything wrong. But you might. Right, get rid of these. Oh, my ears. There we are. I wear a headset mic when I'm recording. A Behringer something or other. Can't remember what make it is. Anyway, it's comfy, but it starts to roast your ears after a while. Got big padded ear things. I'm going to have to buy a new one soon. Just can't afford it at the moment, so... There we go. Nice. Okay, now, top view. And I'm going to get rid of this half here. Just so I can symmetry it back in, basically. Had a sudden vision that I'd symmetried the wrong half. Okay, next. Symmetry. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Vertebral poly. Delete that one. Okay, we're nearly there, nearly there. Actually, hang on, before we go any further. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm going to pin the stack. Show end result. Good, just making sure I'm working on both at the same time. Right, I'm going to click here. Click loop. Turn on chamfer so I can make sure I'm doing the right bits. Okay. Now I'm going to chamfer this nice and wide. So that's about there. Like that. Right, now I can collapse. Hang on a minute. There's something wrong, he said. Right, let's stick symmetry on again. Pin, go back down here, show end result. Do a quick loop here. Put my chamfer on. Yeah, it was still picking up the collapsed mesh from previously, so that's why I went back. Good. Good. Yeah, very good. Okay, I'm feeling the happy there, especially considering what a complicated piece this is. Okay, over here I collapse this, and I delete this. That leaves me with this piece, like so. Okay, which is the right shape incidentally, and the right everything on this leg, more or less. What I've got to do now pretty much is just plug this piece in over on this side, for which I just need to get rid of this bit. So if I just select these boxes here in the middle and do grow. Takes a moment. Delete. What the hell's that? Oh, it's on the other side. I couldn't work out why it was still there. Okay, now I cap this. Click grow, grow. Delete. Cap this. Okay, and this gives me the back piece, which is probably facing in the wrong direction, to be quite honest, but never mind. All I've got to do is rotate it, which I shall now do on the local, making sure angle snap is turned on, 180 degrees. There we are. So this part's facing inwards. Apply my basic material to it. Yep, starting to feel the love. Haven't chamfered it yet though, unfortunately. And this is something I'm going to have to do, so I get myself a box. You've seen me do it before. And I save. Notice I'm saving my workbench. Do an edge checks, making sure it's a basic one. Okay, that's fine. So now go over here, isolate it. Do an edge checks on this one. Pull it back to 40 degrees. Just to make sure there's no crossing going on or anything like that. It's really going to ruin it. Seems to be okay. Give it a very minor shape. Okay, convert to edible poly. Exit isolation mode. Delete our test box. Apply smooth to this. I'm going to make it about 22.5. So just to smooth it out a bit, because it is a nice shape. Okay, next I'm going to just check my statistics. Surprisingly few polys actually in this scene, so I'll unhide all, except for the tools. Okay, and I'll see you in the next bit. Till then, bye bye for now.